This is the second video in an introductory series on how to use Bitcoin Cash and tokens. So in this second video, in the first video I showed how to create a wallet, and in the second video I'm going to show how to send and receive Bitcoin Cash, as well as how to send SLP tokens. So here I've got a brand new wallet that I just created by clicking that Create Wallet button that I showed in the first video. So now I've got a Bitcoin Cash address and a Simple Ledger address. And I've got my other wallet over here. So I'm going to simulate two people, one person sending and one person receiving with these two wallets. So let's say this is Alice. Alice has the new wallet that doesn't have a balance. And here's Bob, and Bob has both Bitcoin Cash and tokens. So first of all, let's show how to use Bitcoin Cash, because that's the most fundamental thing that you could do. So after you create your wallet, you can go to the Send Receive BCH tab, and here under Receive will display both a QR code that you can scan as well as the clear text. This address is what's in this QR code. And then there's this little slider you can click to switch between a Bitcoin Cash and a Simple Ledger address. As I mentioned in the previous video, these are the same two different ways of representing the same address. They're just encoded differently. One's for tokens, one's for Bitcoin Cash. Some wallets make a distinction, this one doesn't. And then down here is the send card where you can send Bitcoin Cash. So Alice wants to receive Bitcoin Cash from Bob, so she's going to click on that QR code, and then this is public, so it's fine to share it. So she would email Bob or send it to him over Telegram. If they wanted to be secret, they could use some end-to-end encrypted chat. But now I'm over here and I'm Bob, and I want to send Alice some Bitcoin Cash. So I'm going to also go to the Send Receive area and go down to the Send card, and I'm going to paste in Alice's Bitcoin Cash address, and I'm going to send her 10 cents. So 0.1. It defaults to US dollars. If you want to send in Bitcoin Cash instead, you can click on these crossed arrows. And so now I'm still sending 10 cents, but now it's denominated up here into Bitcoin Cash. So I'm going to switch this back. So I'm going to send Alice 10 cents. And when it goes through, it will display a transaction ID. And you can click on this transaction ID and it will take you to a block explorer. So if I was Bob and I would send Alice this transaction ID, this is like a receipt. It's proof that I sent the transaction. And I won't go into detail here on the block explorer, but if you're a developer, this is full of really useful information. But if I switch back over to Alice, so now we're in Alice's wallet, the balance still says 0, but if I click on this refresh button, it will check the balance, query the blockchain, and check the balance. So now Alice has 10 cents. Okay, so we've sent and received Bitcoin Cash, and we've talked about transaction IDs, this sort of receipt that you get, which is proof of the transaction happened. Okay, so now let's talk about tokens. So if I go to the tokens area, Alice has no tokens because this is a brand new wallet. But if we go over to Bob, Bob's wallet has a lot of tokens. And so just like before, Alice will give Bob her Bitcoin Cash address or her Simple Ledger address. Either one works with this wallet. Other wallets make a distinction between the two. Just to be safe, Bob's going to ask Alice for a Simple Ledger address. That way he knows that her wallet is token aware. If she's not able to get a Simple Ledger address from her wallet, it's a good indication that her wallet is not token aware and will burn any tokens that Bob sends her. So Alice has given Bob her Simple Ledger address, and he's going to send her some Trout tokens. And right down here, just make sure we clicked on the right token. It says Trout's test token. We can send max, which is all the tokens, but we don't want to do that. I'm just going to send Alice 10 Trout tokens. And in future videos, I'll show how to make your own tokens. Okay, so again, like sending Bitcoin Cash, there's a transaction ID that pops up that you can click on to check And you can see this is refreshing. So Bob's wallet is refreshing to update the token balance to reflect the fact that he has 10 trout tokens less than what he sent. If we go over to Alice's wallet and click on tokens, the wallet detected that there was a balance change, and so it automatically detected these tokens. If it didn't, she could click this refresh button and manually have the wallet check the balance like we did over here. So now Alice has 10 trout tokens and she can send them around. So sending and receiving tokens, very similar to Bitcoin Cash. There is one caveat, and that is that Bitcoin Cash is the fundamental currency and it's used to pay the transaction fees. And there are exceptions to this rule, like the post office, but it's outside the scope of this video. But generally speaking, you can't send tokens unless you have Bitcoin Cash to pay the transaction fees. So if Bob had sent Alice the tokens first, Alice wouldn't be able to send the tokens to anybody because she wouldn't have any Bitcoin Cash to pay the transaction fees. So that's why if you are onboarding a new user, always send them a little bit of Bitcoin Cash. Even just 2 pennies worth is enough for several transaction fees. Otherwise, they'll receive the tokens, but they won't be able to do anything with them. So that's an important little caveat to remember when sending tokens.